The passport bros are men who have chosen to seek out foreign women, typically from other countries, for relationships. They believe that Western women have been influenced by cultural and societal pressures to behave in an unfavorable way.
Try to control me, boy, you get dismissed. Pay my own condo and I pay my own bill.
And that by seeking out foreign women, they can find a more authentic, fulfilling, harmonious, and traditional relationship.
It feels amazing to be together in person. I'm so excited.
This is seen as a way to restore the natural balance between masculine and feminine energy and to avoid the wickedness of Western women. And I'm gonna show you exactly what usually happens when these passport bros goes to a different country to find that desirable woman.
Shift, where the go and my ex.
Hi guys, before we start, hit the subscribe button and thumbs up the video if you enjoy it. If you don't, you can leave me a comment talking about my forehead. It doesn't matter. As long as you leave a comment, it does really help me. Either way, thank you so much and you get a big fat slappy kiss. So when I heard the term passport bro, I cackled. It's still a new term for me, but I didn't even need a definition. I already knew it's a man who thinks a woman in another country will put up with his shit.
See, in the United States, women don't cook and clean. All they do is complain.
A man that will literally put zero to like the tiniest bit of effort into understanding the culture or even learning the language.
Eu não entendo.
Now that me and Karina have finally met in person, the language barrier is a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be.
They purely want a woman that cannot communicate with them, will make them dinner, raise their kids, and let them stick their in them at any time.
If you're an American man and you're not having the success you want as far as dating, you come to a foreign country and you have a lot more opportunity and access.
We need a term for the women who do this because we've come around those type of women on 90 Day Fiancé from time to time.
How long have we been talking? Is it a long time? Jose can't speak English.
And they're just as weird. It just seems to be more frequent on the show for the men to do this. So recently, many passport bros are trending on TikTok, and not for good reasons. It's for reasons that a lot of people are laughing at because, for example, there's these men that traveled to Colombia who thought they were gonna find just an easy woman, a stupid woman, because they don't speak English in their country that speaks mostly Spanish. Anyway, they found these very easy, stupid women and the women drugged them and took all their money.
I met some chicks from Medellin off of Tinder. So I brought them to my crib and then I was trying to surprise my boy and then eventually they drugged us. And guys, they took everything.
Or a lot of these passport bros will find the women in other countries, and these women do believe in tradition. They think that the man should work and provide absolutely everything, and they expect everything to be paid for.
Normally and typically in an Arab household, the man usually is the provider financially.
I was not anticipating that it would mean I have to be the sole provider for a household. I didn't sign up for this.
And a lot of the American men who are passport bros who think that it's just, I don't know, they're gonna be swimming in bitches in another country.
Better bitches, better money, my clothes better, my shoes better.
Well, they go to the other country and they find that they're insufferable in America. They're also insufferable in another country. They just seem to not be able to keep up with the women over there, but they never come to the conclusion that it's them and their personality. And that's what we're gonna see today. So let me introduce you to Scott. I have never seen anyone fall so hard on a date, and I loved every minute of it because I cannot stand the type of people who go to another country expecting people to just love them because they're American. Newsflash, people, if you're someone like that watching this, most countries don't seem to like us very much. They don't think we're very special. So Scott is in a long-term distance relationship with Lydia. Lydia speaks absolutely no English at all. Has Scott put a lick of effort to learn at least, what, 20% of Spanish? Of course not. Has Lydia put any effort into trying to learn English so that she can communicate with the guy that she loves? Absolutely not. Of course. So they've been talking for over a year, plenty of time to learn something, but neither of them have done that. Most likely because they've only spoken online and it's very easy to do some type of translation online, but you know when it's not so easy? In person. It can get very cringy and super annoying, frustrating to do when you're speaking to someone right in front of them.
So I knew coming into this that the language barrier would be the biggest obstacle to overcome, so I'll be honest, I'm nervous.
You both had a whole year to get less nervous, to learn something. Instead, you did absolutely just nothing. They are both Just not my favorite type of people. I can't stand when people don't put effort into something they want. So they end up meeting, she picks him up, and he tries to communicate with her, and the first thing that he has to make sure is that she works out.
But what about mucho exercise? Like walks or the gym?
Sí.
Gym? Me, you go
Sí.
fitness? Yeah, see, that'd be great.
Todos los días.
Yeah. You go every day? You? Every day? Dia? Oh.
So as you'll see, the more we watch Scott, he is one of those people that thinks if he just speaks a little louder and a little slower and repeat certain words and phrases, wave their hands around frantically, he thinks the other person who doesn't speak their language will just understand. He doesn't get that he's still not speaking the same language, even if you talk like this. So Lydia isn't talking much because she doesn't speak English, but you know, Scott keeps trying.
You kayak? No, you don't like? No me gusta? No. Me, you kayaking. Be fun. Me, dos kayak.
Just if we nitpick that little phrase, dos kayak, are you asking for 2 kayaks? That doesn't even make sense in English or in Spanish. So he's literally spitting out any kind of Spanish word that he learned in 10th grade 30 years ago. Like one of them could at least downloaded the Google Translator app instead of just winging it.
Scott habla muchísimo y rápido. Él como que no se da cuenta que yo no hablo inglés.
So this sounds like it's starting out just great. I mean, I know plenty of meaningful, nice, blissful relationships that started where both parties put absolutely no effort at all to be able to communicate. I know tons of those. But Scott just keeps going. He keeps trying and he's not a quitter.
You like to fish?
Yo me quedo así, mirando, porque él habla y yo digo, ¿qué es esto?
Yeah, she thinks you're an idiot. She thinks you're silly, you're a little goofy, a little loony. So I always wonder, why do these people travel so far to find these women if you're not going to make any effort, like at all, to be able to actually speak to each other?
Me, dos kayak.
Why do they do that? Exactly. They don't want to speak. They just want a woman that listens to what they say and smiles. And I know what you're saying. This woman's probably after all of Scott's money. Well, a lot of the times in these passport bro situation, that's exactly what they're after. That's what the relation started with.
So basically you're saying if I can't provide, I'm worthless to you.
I don't understand what's wrong about it. If I was ugly and fat, would you be dating me?
The passport bros literally wave money on their little passport bro dating apps and the women come a-running. So who do you think you're going to actually attract? A woman who likes you for you and that glorious smile and your bald head? No, she's looking at your money. I will never understand the men that say all the women that approach me want money, but they're flashing their money in people's faces. It's like me going on a dating app and I just have my ass on there, my whole ass. And then men inbox me talking about how they just want my butt cheeks. And then I get upset about it. But you know, Scott seems like he's a fighter. He seems like he just really wants to put in the effort to get to know Lydia. So I'm sure this will blossom like a beautiful pink flower into a meaningful relationship. Oh wait, never mind. Scott's pissed.
Grande problema.
And why is he pissed? Okay, so they get to the hotel and Scott is just upset when he finds out Lydia doesn't want to be in the same hotel alone with him, a random man from America. So she booked 2 separate rooms.
Meet Scott.
Gracias.
Gracias. My pleasure.
May I have your number, please?
4. Not
40.
Parque.
3009.
Wait, un momento. Parque dos rooms? Why?
Does.
Wait. So I can't fuck you tonight?
The face of absolute shock with a slight, taste of horror on this man's face. How can he be so surprised that a woman in a different country is not throwing herself at him and ripping off his lime green Nike shirt? But clearly they are not that close. I'm guessing there was no passion or spark between their online relationship either. Clearly she's not connected to him. She might not even find him attractive. I mean, you didn't even finish the kayak conversation and you're shocked that this woman doesn't want to you right now or even stay in a hotel room with you. And now he's trying to communicate with her so that he can try to manipulate her into staying in the same room with him. But you know what? He can't because he didn't take that year to speak Spanish. He don't understand you.
Grande problema.
Grande problema.
Sí.
Oh, so now you can speak Spanish, sir.
Sí.
I came all the way from Florida to the Dominican Republic to see if this relationship is going to work. But then there's 2 rooms instead of 1.
So this is what I'm talking about. These type of people are just there for the sex. You can still see if the relationship has some type of future, can work out by not sticking your dick in her. The first step would be to be able to hold a conversation about a kayak.
Me, you, kayaking. Be fun.
Unless you think that traveling to another country ensures that you will get some quick Scott. Lydia, you're in this too. Can y'all take a class? Can you download an app? Can you get Babbel? This video is not sponsored by Babbel. We're not going, this isn't a gateway to a sponsorship.
I would say if I was a gambling man, Lydia's gonna be asleep in my room the next couple of days.
I am no gambling woman, but I'm gonna just bet my whole life savings that she's not gonna do that. Well, but Scott is a confident one. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the skill to woo a woman that doesn't speak the same language as him.
You like to fish?
So later, the couple go dancing, which was actually a great time. They had a great time because they were just dancing. There was no communication and Scott wasn't speaking. Well, unfortunately, dancing came to an end and the couple decided to sit down and talk.
So, let me translate. Yes.
He had the translator this whole time. This whole time he could have put in a tiny bit of little effort to do a little bit better than dos kayak. Okay, Scott, this better go well. The odds are in your favor.
Are you just trying to get this thing to work? I knew communicating with Lydia would be difficult. I just didn't realize how difficult.
Yeah, it's as difficult as it is to talk to anyone who doesn't speak your language. What does he mean? What does he mean by that? Scott, I knew this was going to be hard to communicate when you don't know someone's language.
I knew this was gonna be hard to communicate when we don't know each other's language, but this is hard. We won't even have sex.
Y'all, the life of a passport bro was hard. Thoughts and prayers for them.
Earlier, I had issues with my phone in the car, and I thought it would be better in this club connected to Wi-Fi, but it's not. No habla inglés at all.
No.
It's crazy.
Just as crazy as you not speaking Spanish, Scott. Yes, I agree. You both are very crazy for meeting up like this. And y'all are in your 50s. You should know better. But Lydia should have known more better, right? I mean, English is the only language in the world to speak. Shame on her.
Crazy.
Wi-Fi is not working and Scott's getting a little nervous, you know, because he made a bet that Lydia was gonna be booty flopping on his in a hotel room. So he's getting a little nervous. It's not working out. And it's just, you know, it's going downhill quickly. So Scott does what any man would do in this situation. He fixes it, calls over a waiter to translate what he can't say.
Hey, hold on. Hola. Anybody speak English?
I do speak English.
All right, cool.
100% man, honey. Man, now that's what I call alpha. Taking charge, solving problems. Yes, the man with the muscle, making it happen, trying to get in her pants. Good for him. I love the effort. We love to see it. Lydia didn't though. She thought it was weird.
Scott se para y comienza a vocear cosas.
And it's a little funny, a little silly, a little goofy that a lot of the passport bros like mantra is that women don't respect them in America. So they think we're gonna go to another country where women respect us and everything we have to say and do.
Showing you the key to, you know, a way fun and living.
So the random man at the bar gets roped into being this weird destined to fail couple's translator because someone didn't do their damn homework, Scott and Lydia. And Scott explains what's going on, brings them up to speed.
Bro, can you ask her if there's like a chance that she's gonna, you know, like have sex with me? Can you translate that as well? Ask her if we can stay in the same room. Those kayaks too. Translate that, man. Thanks. Good translation.
Sure, why not?
What could possibly go wrong? Nothing's gonna get lost in translation and leave Lydia confused and slightly grossed out.
Está loco. Está loco.
Yeah, she's loving it. So the man from the bar, you know, sits on down with them. Everyone loves a third party on a first date that they don't know.
There's a few things I want to get to know about her. Is she hoping for marriage again? How does she feel about that?
What an odd question to have when you haven't even gotten past the kayak question yet.
Puede ser.
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh, wow. I'm feeling worried. So I'm the type of guy, when things get awkward, I just get silly at that point. I just gotta go for it.
So Scott starts getting he starts getting just a little loose, a little goofy, or in his words,
I just get silly.
So believe it or not, Scott's a jokester. He's a little jokester. He's a little comedian, and I love to laugh. So let's hear the first, silly joke that Scott lays on her.
How does she feel about me being a polygamist with 3 other wives?
Well, there it is, guys. Break out the notebook, write that one down. That is a top tier joke that you definitely want to tell when you go on the first date, especially if she doesn't speak your language and you just called a random man from the bar to translate for you. So, at least the translator's having a good time and not awkwardly laughing at all. Right, Scott?
How does she feel about me being a polygamist?
So let's see how Lydia takes the joke.
¿Qué considera de él que ha tenido con otras 3 esposas?
Look at Scott's face.
This chick's gonna be just seized from laughter from this joke. And then Scott is gonna have some sex.
Ok. Él ha tenido 3 esposas.
Yeah, so she doesn't understand it. She just thinks that he has 3 wives and he's trying to make her the 4th while making that face. What possessed him to think that this was okay? The passport bro demon, that's who. Some of you guys are not on TikTok, but if you are, the passport bros are getting lit up. They are getting made fun of because they are getting laughed at because they are saying American women this, American women that. They're American women are so hard to get along with. Modern women are the devil.
How dare women keep up with modern times?
These third world women, and I laugh when I see that because what they're forgetting is that, okay, if you had a horrible dating experience with modern women in your space your entire life, guess what? Going to another country, the problems is you. No matter where you go in the world, you're still the problem, so you're still you. And you're coming off as very entitled.
And they think that these women are dumb because they don't speak English. But instead, the women look at them how Lydia is looking at this dumb man. Now women outside of the US and inside of the US think that Scott is a freak. Congratulations, sir. You did it. You proved the woman right. Is that what you want? This whole woman versus man war to continue? Why would you want to prove the woman right that you also suck outside of the United States? So you probably thought that this was the end. Oh no, I told you, this man crumbles. This man freaking burns, okay? So then he meets Lydia's daughter, who does not play. You think American women talk too much? Oh, Lydia's daughter has tons of questions and she also has no time. She needs answers now.
Él te dio regalos. My mom wants to know if you like the woman younger. In the time you have talking with my mom,
Yeah.
you never sent her $1.
So I was talking to one of my girlfriends who's in Miami, but she's originally from Colombia, and American men love her, but she's not fond of all American men. She says many American men are very cheap. They complain to her about American women and say how she's so much more amazing than American women, and she's a very traditional woman. She thinks that men should work, she should stay home, she will clean, cook, and have children, but she also expects them to be able to pay for everything. And before she dates them, she expects them to be able to pay her rent, because in her head, if you can't pay for her rent, how she lives right now, just her, how are you going to be able to support her when she has children? And TikTok opens a very large world because there are many women from different countries who seem to be saying this. Now, you guys tell me in the comment section if you're from a different country, but it does make sense. If you are someone who is going to be a traditional woman, you want to make sure that the man that you're investing in is someone that can actually provide what he's saying. So they say, pay my rent, pay for my nails. You want me to be this type of woman, you pay for everything. And a lot of the American men find that they're just not ready for that life.
I didn't sign up for this.
I mean, we have a crisis in America right now that most people are broke as fuck. They can't even support themselves here. I don't think they're gonna be able to pay rent to someone outside of the country.
Well, for one, I don't have to buy anybody.
Did you bring her gift?
I did. And my mother picked it out.
Ok, él dice que te tiene un regalo. Y algo especial que te trajo su mamá. Ah.
I wasn't gonna get a gift, but my mom said, hey, you have to get her a gift.
Okay, Scott, you could have stopped at the I did bring a gift. Not the whole I didn't want to, but my mommy told my 50-something-year-old ass that I should go buy a purse. But surprise, surprise, Lydia loves the purse. She's so happy, and that's very good, that's very cool. But then her daughter snatches the purse, looks in it, sees that there's no money, spits at Scott's face and says, how fucking dare you? I'm just kidding. She didn't do all that, but she did say, where's the money? Why is there no money in the purse?
When you give a present like a purse here, it's very important. You put money because that is a good look.
See, Scott's not the only one who gets a little silly in awkward situations, and he's also not the only one that doesn't laugh at certain jokes. Okay, so after a few days, Scott is just exhausted. He's exhausted of talking.
Do you feel like the language barrier is an issue for us? Oh my God. Hear this thing.
He's exhausted of sleeping alone at night in a different country.
Parque dos rooms?
He's exhausted of no one understanding him.
I don't know what to do. I want to talk to her, but I can't have a real conversation with her.
Exhausted of everybody laughing at him. Exhausted of absolutely no one laughing at his jokes except for the guy that he asked one time to translate. He is just exhausted.
You know, like we're using a translator and the goddamn thing's not working. I'm just getting frustrated with the whole process.
Maybe learn Spanish? Of course it's frustrating. You came there to fuck and hopes that she would laugh at your polygamy jokes because you're so enchanting as an American. Every woman from a different country is going to know what the fuck you're saying and want to jump on your dick. Of course this is frustrating. I'm not exactly sure why she's there, but his goal seems to be just purely sex. We can tell that by how frustrated you got by learning that you guys were sleeping in different hotel rooms.
And I feel like I came out here and I've invested a lot of time getting to know her, and she's a beautiful person, and I feel bad, but I just don't feel the chemistry.
Well, doy, I could have saved you a plane ticket, honey. It's very hard to get to know someone who only knows dos kayak and por qué no sex.
At this point, I'm really feeling mentally exhausted, and I'm starting to wonder where this is gonna go.
The only positive thing I can say about these two is that at least their age range isn't a 30 years difference. He is actually younger than Lydia. So that's a little refreshing. But then we find out that Scott's ex-girlfriend is 29 years old.
Su exnovia tiene 29 años.
She's actually in the same area as Lydia. She also messaged him a few weeks before he came to see Lydia. Scott was actually obsessed with this girl, but this girl ghosted him because he was too much for her.
But recently, she reached out to me out of the blue. You know, I have mixed feelings about a lot of things. So I dated this Colombian 2 years ago.
Okay, so let me get this all straight. Let me see if I have this correct. Scott, you came here to see Lydia and this Colombian ex-girlfriend that you are obsessed with. You tried to have sex with Lydia, and when that didn't happen, you played the I don't feel a connection.
I just don't feel the chemistry.
Because, you don't know English.
No habla inglés at all.
So that's crazy. So obviously, Lydia leaves this whole thing. She's pissed, and Scott meets up with his now ex. The ex that broke up with him because it's a little bit too much. And I have to say, because passport bros, they always say that they want to lead the relationship. They want to feel like they're in control. The ex-girlfriend of Scott, she is completely in control of this man. He would always send her money. He would always send her gifts. And then when he got a little bit too much, she left. And he has been messaging her continuously forever. And then she finally sent him a message back. And the moment she sends a message, he is planning his trip to get on a plane and go see her and Lydia. And the moment he opens the door and sees his one true love, he starts bursting in tears. Remember when I said he's a little bit too much? That's why she left him, and he kind of freaked her out a lot. So during the first meeting or the reconnection, he's just saying everything that he could.
Liz embodies everything I've ever wanted in a woman, and she speaks English fluently.
Why did you go for someone who doesn't speak English? And that's not the problem for him. Once people understand what he's saying, they just leave. Like Lydia and this woman.
Beach getaway in Puerto Plata, and I'm hoping that we can rekindle everything and start where we left off last time. Do as much as we can do. Hiking, kayaking.
There's that damn kayak again. So Scott is still just vomiting up all of his words.
Pain and about what happened, and I just want to lose you again.
On this woman that left him because he was too much. He was too I want to be with you. I love you. You're perfect. You're this, I want you in my Scotty hands and you'll never leave me type of thing, and it freaked her out. And he's still He's still doing that.
I'm excited to go with the Scott, but then I started to feel like overwhelming. I was just like, hey, let's just take it easy.
Yeah, like, back off, man. We get it. You're talking to a 29-year-old. Control yourself. You know this man is not gonna control himself, calm down, or slow down. You know the main goal of a passport bro is to get that woman from a different country into America where she has a really hard time leaving him.
Do you see yourself coming to the United States with me?
It's a lot to process.
Yeah, that set her off. It was a lot for her to process, and pretty much the moment after they got to the hotel room, she started packing her bags.
Liz and I are supposed to go out to the beach, but then she got like in a funk and then she stopped talking to me.
She started crying. She seemed grossed out by him. Her anxiety was rising up.
What's going on? Wait, talk to me. Come on, talk to me. Liz.
Look, I need
Seriously.
space.
Because she's near Scott, and homegirl booked it out of there.
I understand. Listen.
No, you don't understand.
I do. Did you see my last? Hey.
So Scott is left confused. He's so confused as to what he did wrong. He doesn't understand. He thought everything was going great. He was having a great time. How could she not be? And she ends up following in Lydia's footsteps and and she booked another hotel room away from Scott. And look at that, this woman speaks perfect English. So she leaves the very next day.
I'm always gonna be there for you, and I mean that.
That is the absolute opposite of what she wants, but okay.
Seriously.
Also, why are you wearing those sunglasses? I'm all for people choosing their own fashion. I don't really care what people wear until I don't like them. And sometimes people's fashion choices in situations like this say to me that they wanted to make a statement in this very embarrassing situation, and they try to look their absolute best. But he ended up looking like a CVS brand cyborg, and his sunglasses are just calculating how he can get her back in his arms. Anyway, shortly after, this fool tries to get Lydia back, who doesn't speak English.
Una oportunidad. You're telling me you want a second chance? De comenzar de cero, de nuevo? To start again?
I just wanted you to know I care about you.
So Scott's 50-something-year-old ass doesn't know what the fuck he wants, and I am cackling at his efforts to try and make a lasting relationship while putting the least amount of effort into this. And I hope you guys are too. So thank you guys so much for watching. Check out some more 90-Day Fiancé videos. They're all linked below or at the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe so that we can continue to laugh at Scott and his dating techniques, but not his jokes.
How does she feel about me being a polygamist?
And I will see all of you guys later.
Wake up, honey, I made you breakfast. Fresh coffee and bagels too. A new day is waiting for us. We got lots of fun stuff to do. Let's go to the zoo and feed the monkeys. I can lend them your baseball cap. Let's make the day a bear of fun. Growing up is just a trap. Don't